Hey friends, welcome back to Magus of the Frog. We are once again trying to optimize our Rakdos Sacrifice list here. So, what exactly are we trying to optimize? Well, Magic is a game of probabilities, so more often than not, consistency is what we're trying to optimize. And there are many ways to think about consistency, but in the lens of optimization and deck building, it usually comes in the form of, are we running enough copies of cards to enact our game plan? And I'm not talking about whether or not we're running 2 versus 3 versus 4 copies of a singular card. No, although that's important, I think it's just a very basic way of looking at decks. Instead, I like to look at decks in terms of functions. So, we're looking for consistency in function. Once we've set aside X amount of cards for our lands and Y amount of cards for interacting or disrupting whatever it is our opponent's doing, how are we utilizing the remainder in order to have a good game plan that works? So, what is a game plan? You can define game plan as many things, but in this exercise, we're going to use game plan in terms of function. So, define your game plan in terms of function will really help you know what to optimize in the deck. In our case, we're a sacrifice deck, so our game plan is simple. We want to develop a board with sacrifice fodder and sacrifice outlets. And I know it seems very simple, but all of the emergent strategy and tactics that come with our deck all are rooted in this. As long as we have stuff to sacrifice and outlets to sacrifice them to, then we can do a multitude of things. We can either draw cards, we can go wide, we can protect threats, etc. So what I like to do next is I start grouping cards in terms of function. So I've got sack fodder and sack outlets. I got 20 cards in the fodder, 13 cards in the outlets, and then just as an eye test, do these numbers make sense? I think so. You want more fodder than you want outlets. But more importantly, when you're building these functions and trying to optimize them in your deck, there are two things that I like to think about the most. One, are they diverse in utility? So, they're all similar in function, but once you start adding utility, what it does is it adds layers to your game plan. And then second, I like to think about, are they appropriate in curve? And if you have a good function that is appropriate in curve, then you start adding stages to your game plan. So let me show you what I mean. When we look at our first function here, the fodder, you'll notice that in our 1-drops, the utility comes in the form of either replacing itself or recurring itself with Infestation Sage and Forsaken Miner. And then once we go to this 2 slot here, we start introducing a new dimension to the deck, stuff that we still don't mind sacrificing, but now we have drain life effects. And I like the drain life effects so much that I'm running essentially 6 copies of that effect with 4 Vengeful Bloodwitch and 2 Vrans. And then as we go into the later parts of the curve, then we're utilizing the generation of more fodder. So Seer Slicer Goblin, the Forge, and Fountain Port. And then when we look at another function in terms of our sacrifice outlets, we've got early sacrifice outlets like Eaten Alive to help us remove threats. Then we start transitioning into sacrifice outlets that allow us to draw cards like the Journal or Fountain Port. And then we have sacrifice outlets that can trigger raid or just offer a triggered way in terms of putting creatures into the graveyard with the Forge. And then we've got a repeatable sacrifice outlet in the Predator that allows it to protect itself as well as synergize with the rest of our deck, which is why I have 4 copies of it. And then we can do the same exercise in terms of our interaction. So if I look at the 10 main board cards I have here in terms of interaction, we've got Exiles, Destroy, we've got creatures and planeswalkers that we can target. And then once we start incorporating the sideboard, now there are many ways to utilize the sideboard. I personally like to use the sideboard to mix and match our interactive spells. So here's our sideboard, the majority of it anyway, and you'll notice now we start adding different utility to the interactive portion of our deck. We have discard, we got mass removal, we got threaten effects like Twisted Fealty. And what this makes is we have our deck that is just simply, I think, has a strong core game plan, has enough lands to consistently cast our game plan, and enough interactive spells to either disrupt our opponent and make sure that they don't get to do their game plan better than ours. So, the thing about optimizing, though, is that it is a continuous and iterative process. And the only way to really know if your optimization is doing well or if you're optimizing in the right direction is you need to play the deck, which is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to get some games in the Mythic Ladder. And once you start optimizing your list and you keep playing it, then when you play your games, the goal is not just to win your game, it's to, do the various functions of my deck work the way I want them to. So the things that I'll be looking for when we play our games today is one, are our sacrifice fodder happening at the right times? Are they appropriate numbers or are we running too many? And then for the outlets, are we running the right types of utility? Are we running not enough outlets? So these are the kinds of questions that we can ask ourselves as we start optimizing our list. Now, I didn't talk about Alicia because Alicia doesn't really fit in terms of sacrifice fodder or outlet, but I do have a mini function of recursion in this deck, and I got 8 cards dedicated to it. I got 3 copies of Alicia, 2 at the journal once it's transformed, and the minor, of course, once we commit crimes and bring it back. So, a very minor function in our deck, but still works well in terms of the synergy. And then when I do sideboarding, I look at what I have available here, and then I look at what I can possibly take out here without hopefully trying to dilute our game plan in the main board here. So that's how I approach optimization. It's a continuous process. I'm always looking at the functions of the deck and whether or not it's working the way I want it to. All right, guys, that's all for the intro. I really just want to start getting some games in and start optimizing this list in terms of its function. So all I have to say is, hey, give us a like, drop a comment, and a subscription. It would be so nice if I could get your subscription. Not necessary, but infinitely appreciated. All right, guys, let's get some games in. I'll see you round 1. Let's get it. Okay, we're on the play here. First match of the day. Lucky us. What does this do? Well, we got some fodder and some sacrifice outlets, so we'll keep this. You've also got disruption for whatever they're trying to do. We'll start off with Restless Vents, and I think I'll start off with the Bloodwitch. Okay, this could be Boros Auras. Yeah, we'll just play the Bloodwitch here. Next turn, we can play Brand plus Eaten Alive if they play a scary threat. Otherwise, we have nowhere to run. Okay, and I think I'll just go... Yeah, another Bloodwitch. And they could be keeping up a mana for Shard Mage's rescue, so I won't interact with their hero until I have nowhere to run available. So let's see what they have in terms of enhancing this hero. I won't block. We'll take whatever damage they want to do to us right now. Okay, we take 5, but that's not too bad because we got Bloodwitches to gain us life. Okay. And I think they are playing... Let's see, let's attack first. And then I think I'm just gonna play Vran here. This represents a lot of life. And then I'll end the turn here, keeping up nowhere to run. Okay. So now's the time to nowhere to run, or... No, I don't think so. We're gonna actually just let them do their thing here. Okay. So now that I have enough mana, let's attack. And then I'm going to eat and alive the hero, and once they shard rescue it, shard mage rescue it, I will know where to run it. Let's see. Auto pay, sacrificing this. Paying the ward cost. And here comes the Shard Mage's rescue. But luckily, we got this. All right. So we managed to come up ahead in that exchange, and we have the better board here. And yeah, we can deal with this same way we dealt with... let's see, sacrifice a creature, yep. Auto pay, get the Bloodwitch. They don't have the rescue mana for this. And then we'll Restless Events, discarding our Sulphurous Springs. Okay, another nowhere to run is nice. But this effect is already just on the battlefield. Let's see, what does it get? +1/+1 Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Yeah, this is no problem, I don't think. Okay, we get to trigger Raid here. So let's attack. And then, lucky us, we get nowhere to run. And we get a Raid trigger. Getting back the Bloodwitch. So, our game plan is working well here. happy to just block here and gain some life, I think. This drains them because we have Ran. So they are in a tougher position than... Okay, so we'll Restless Vents here. And then we'll attack here. Discarding this. Ooh, Seer Slicer Goblins, nice. We'll get back the Bloodwitch. And if they attack us again, well, we'll do the same thing. We'll block here. I don't think they did that properly. We'll do the same thing. Okay, and they only really... They can't block here, because if they do, well, we kill them. So we attack here. And then if we attack with everything, they block Alicia and Bran. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we attack with everything. Okay, yeah, that's lethal. Okay, so against them, it looks like Boros Auras. So we can do a couple of things. We can either get Pyroclasm, we can do Twisted Fealty, or we can use Untimely Malfunction. I think I like Untimely here. And the Fealty. I think Blot Out is not as good, given how low their curve is. And then Dreams of Steel and Oil I like. Let's see. I think Forsaken Miner is not the best because it can't block. And then 2 cards. I think we can go down some of our later stuff like the Predator, because really the early game is what we want to try and win. And then... Let's see. I think a Goblin. Or maybe a Bloodwitch. Let's go with Bloodwitch. We already have a lot of effects like this anyway. Okay. I think we'll keep this. We have Restless Vents tap, so we are not able to play our Sage right away. But next turn we can either Sage plus Eaten Alive or keep up a removal spell. Okay. And this could be another... What do you call it? Shard Mage Rescue here. So I'm just going to do... I think Nowhere to Run after they attack. Yeah, so that they'll have to use the Shard Mage Rescue. Oh, I guess they won't because it's Nowhere to Run. Ah, okay. In this case, I'll use Nowhere to Run on the Heartfire hero. And that way, Shard Mage Rescue is not a threat anymore. Okay. Now, I can either play Infestation Sage plus Eaten Alive to get rid of this, and because they're tapped out, I think I will. Because my game plan here is I just want to reduce the amount of threats that they have and invalidate a lot of cards in their deck, like Monstrous Rage, because they have nothing to pump. Okay, looks like they had another threat here, but luckily we had Go for the Throat. Okay. I can just get Alicia here. I think that's more useful. So we'll do this plus this. I could have Go for the Throat there while their shields were down, but I wanted to use our mana as much as possible. We can always block with a Sage here. Okay, here comes... Another thing we could have done was wait until we had 5 mana so that we could protect. Okay, well, if they're doing this now, I think this is no blocks. Okay, and then while their shields are down, I'll just go for the throat now. And then play this. And attack. And then we have Untimely Malfunction to protect us if we really need it. Okay, here's Mabel. So could use a removal spell here. I think we're just gonna attack in the air. And then keep up Fountain Port and Untimely Malfunction. Okay, happy to block here. Is this a Monstrous Rage? Okay, well, I'm gonna do this. Gonna change it so that it goes to our Infestation Sage. Oh yeah, this is no problem. That's not going to our face, and we don't take any damage here. And then I think I'm gonna draw a card here. Okay. Well, we have to go for the throat. And then we'll do this. We'll attack. I think I'll just attack with these, because they have a bivouac. And then, yeah, I'll play this. Okay, they get Torch Tower, but they can't attack here. Oh, nice. And we have Go for the Throat, which means I'm not going to use Restless Vents. And just keep up Fountain Port. Okay. Pass the turn. Yep. Gonna go for the Throat this. And then I'll make a fish. Okay, very nice. We got the Thane here. Yeah, we'll just attack here. Start getting our opponent. If they do Bivouac, I'll just make another fish to block with. But if they do this, then I'll sacrifice the fish. Hopefully draw Timely Malfunction. Okay, no Timely Malfunction. Ooh, but we do have Twisted Fealty. Okay, so we'll do this. And then I'll attack for 1. Just gotta start chipping away here. If they play a big threat, we got Fealty. If they do this, we'll make a fish to block. Okay, I can also just make a Restless Vents, but no, I don't think so. Okay, they're at 7. Okay, not quite able to finish them off here. But we do get to discard this, hit them for 4, and play a goblin with a raid trigger. Unless they have Pyroclasm. Well, even if they had Pyroclasm, they're dead because of Bloodwitch. If they attack here, we'll just take it. Yeah, that's game. So we got to do our game plan quite nicely there, and yeah, it's very difficult for these low threat decks to deal with the amount of removal we have and the resilient board state that we have. All right, we'll go to the next match. Okay, this looks like a keep. We got to turn 1 fodder. And then hopefully draw some sack outlets later. We at least have removal spell to disrupt whatever it is they're doing. Okay, red-white. Could be another Boros deck. Okay, this could be another Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay, nothing we can do here, really. I guess we can play Vran. And then block with the Sage. Okay, no Burst Lightning. Yeah, I'll block here. Here comes a Monstrous Rage. And it looks like they had a Lightning Helix. Well, at least this means they can't protect their Heartfire hero now. We will take some damage here. Oh, unless we eat and alive it. I think the more mana efficient play is the way to go, though. Okay. And then hopefully draw some mana here. Oh, that's perfect to use any of our removal spells on. So I think I'll do Vran. Attack. And then Eaten Alive, sacrificing our token. And the next turn, we got Forge plus Vran to start getting us more life, unless they have a removal spell. Okay, here's a Heartfire hero. Ooh, Sheltered by Ghosts. We thankfully have Blot out. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be Blot out. Play a land and pass, and then hoping for another land so we can Forge plus go for the throat. Hopefully we exhausted their threats. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Ooh, nice. Okay, well, at least we're getting Vran triggers. And then we'll pass here. And then I'll save this go for the throat, I think. What is this? We can always go for throat in response here. Let's see. And it's going there? Okay, I think I'll just make sure our Vran survives here. I'm happy to take 3 because we keep draining them. And then... do we just... yeah, I think we just kill this. We're pretty much ahead now, and yeah, I don't know if they should do this. Because we're attacking for 5 next turn, plus 2 for the drain. Yeah. I think this is gonna be game. Alright. Well, they need to deal with Vran right now and the Forge. Plus the Miner. So I don't know if they have an out. I think Lightning Helix can at least gain them a life. Yeah, that's game. Okay. So against them, Pyroclasm's good. Untimely Malfunction. And then, once in a while, Twisted Fealty will be good, but I don't think that's what I'll use it for. Yeah. I think I'd rather just wipe the board. And then we're going to take out our Seer Slicer Goblins and our Forsaken Miners. They're not the best when we're playing Pyroclasm, and then this one can't block. And then I think I'm going to go with taking out a Predator here. I think the Massacre Worms are good, but we just have too many stuff in the higher parts of our curve here. Alright, let's run this. Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like our opponent might have left. It is what it is. They're not obligated to play with us. I'll skip ahead. Okay. Alright, next round. Okay, round 3 here. Only played against Boros so far. I think this is a keep. We got some nice curve here. Oh, is this another Boros deck? This is probably the Jeskai Convoke deck. So we take this, and they're either keeping up removal or the clue or both. But I'll just play the Bloodwitch. It works well with our Forge. That can happen later. And the next turn, depending on what they play, I think Forge is just the more mana efficient thing to do. Okay, they don't have much of a board here. But yeah, we'll do Forge here. And then hopefully draw another land here so we can either play the Predator or Seer Slicer Goblin plus keep up Go for the Throat. Oh, that's fine. So another land here would be ideal, but it looks like we didn't draw it. Yeah, let's play the Witch here and then pass. Not blocking, of course. Okay, so they play a land. Oh, okay. Well, still unfortunate that we didn't draw a card here. I think we'll just do this plus pass. Didn't draw a land, I mean. So I'll use one of the Go for the Throats now, I think. Okay, this is scary. Okay, not as scary if they're not going to attack. So what do I go for the throat? Do I just go for the throat the 4/4? Okay, looks like they got just a lot of creatures here. They have a really wide board here. So I think we might lose this first game. Okay, another land here, which means... Well, they're gonna go... Resolute Enforcements plus... Recruiter next turn. That's a lot of damage. So I can just make a lot of blockers by attacking with the Sage and playing Goblin. Or playing the Predator and having a... Okay, we'll do Predator, I think. And then no attacks. And here comes the Recruiter. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know if we can deal with this. Yeah, this is... We block 3, so these 3 we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. That is game. So, thankfully we have some really good sideboard cards against them. We've got Pyroclasm and the Massacre Worm, so let's do that. I think, given how low their curve is, Blotout's not very good. And they're using things like Sheltered by Ghosts, so maybe... Well, we're okay with Sheltered by Ghosts, I think. I think getting these are the more important parts. And then what do we take out? We need to take out 3 more. I think our single target removal is not as useful, like Eaten Alive and Nowhere to Run. So we're still playing quite a bit of... We're still playing 10 interactive spells here. The question is, do I want to play Discard as well? If I take out Sear Slicer Goblin, which is not very good with Pyroclasm, I think Dreams of Steel and Oil is the better discard than the rest. Yeah, let's try this. So we're upping our interaction here, but our game plan is still intact. So, alright, we'll run this. Alright, we're on the play. Okay, we can keep this, hoping to draw a 3rd land. Okay, we'll attack here. And then hope to draw a land next turn, so I should be mana efficient and use one of these. Okay, we'll take one here, and then see if they're just going to keep up the clue or develop their board. Okay, they're just going to keep up the clue, so I'm going to use our mana efficiently here in the hopes that we draw a third land. Okay, not a third land, unfortunately. Alright, passing here. I mean, the good news is we have Pyroclasm, so if they go wide, like 4 or 5 creatures, we can really deal with this and go for the throat for any singular big threats that might evade Pyroclasm. Okay. I think this means we have to Pyroclasm now. Yeah. Let's attack. Okay, Torch the Tower is not too bad. It was gonna die anyway. But really need a third land here to start getting our stuff online. Ooh, and they conceded there. I'm not sure what they had in their hand. But maybe those were all the threats that they had? Yeah, maybe they had their Convoke guy. Okay, so I think we pretty much run it back. And I could see us on the draw playing one duress at least. Or an untimely malfunction. No, I think instead of a duress, I'll do the third nowhere to run. Because this is good against sheltered against ghost. Alright. Okay, this I will keep, but we really just need more lands. Okay, we'll pass. Thankfully got our third land there. So we have Pyroclasm for the early game and hopefully Massacre Worm for the late game. Okay, so do I just Pyroclasm this? Because we want to play turn 3 Alicia? Okay, we'll be taking 1 damage to do this though. So turn 3 Alicia, turn 4 Predator. Okay, they're using their mana. Oh, nice. Now we don't have to take damage, so we'll play Alicia. And nothing in our graveyard to recur, so hopefully get some fodder soon. Okay, this won't be too bad because we're working towards Massacre Worm here. Ooh, looks like they got quite a bit of hand here, so we just need to survive until we can Massacre Worm. So I think this is play the Predator. Let's see, if they have 5 mana, they can get a lot of damage. So I think it is Predator. Alright, pass here. Then we need 2 more turns to get this Massacre Worm. Okay, here's the Novice Inspector. So they're not gonna go for it now. They're gonna flash in stuff later, it looks like. Okay. So we can keep up Nowhere to Run. Plus nothing else. So might as well just play this. Okay. No attacks. So next turn we get to Massacre Worm, but that's provided we survive this turn. Okay. Well, they're not going for it, so we know where to run the... Well, I guess we don't need to. Yeah, because we're just gonna Massacre Worm here. Alright, sorry opponent. You're gonna take 16 and we win in the air. Alright, we used our opponent's game plan against them. I don't think they had lethal the turn prior. Let's see, there were 8 creatures. Right, but they needed 2 of those were from this. And then 3, we could block 2, which means they get in for 4. Yeah, no, we would have gotten, I think that was 16, 15, 16 damage, so not quite lethal. And we had the Nowhere to Run as well, so even less than that. Ooh, okay, nice. All right, sweet. 3-0. Let's go to the next one. Okay, nice. We are on the play again. Lucky us. This one, I'll keep this one. We at least have Fountain Board. Oh, nice. And we have a Blot Out for a removal spell. Ooh, I haven't seen these used much. So yeah, they're most likely gonna deal with our guy there. And then discarding Swamp. Nice. We got a Forge. I think I'm gonna discard the Blot Out here. Okay, this is a different type of Rakdos Sacrifice. This is the enchantment version. Looks like we'll find out who has the better synergies, I guess. Okay. I can start draining them here. They likely have removal. So no matter what I play, it will die. Okay. I'm gonna go with the less mana efficient removal here, just to get in for more damage. Because if I play the Predator, and they go to their turn, it's just exposed. It can't protect itself. Okay, we're gonna lose the Predator anyway. This will sack enchantment. Okay. So I think we go Forge here. And do we Restless Vents as well? To get rid of the Sulfur Springs? No, I don't think so. If they don't block, I'll just Fountain Port away this token. If they do block... Okay. Hoping for a removal spell here. Ooh, this one's good too, though. Okay, so... if they have targeted removal, they have a brand too. Alright, just a couple of sacrifice decks going against each other. So do they have a removal for Vran? Okay, they have a Final Vengeance. We won't block here. Yeah, we'll take 2. They'll sacrifice their enchantment. So we lose 2. Oh no, they get a... Oh. I'll do this then. Okay, nowhere to run. Okay, so we'll do this. This attacks. They'll block there. But we will know where to run the Bran. And then we get the raid trigger here. Okay, here comes a Spiteful Hex Mage. They can sacrifice that. Okay, what are they sacrificing? Creature. I'll sacrifice my creature. Okay, Tarian's Journal is great. We'll attack here. Looks like they're debating whether or not to block it. Either way, we get a Goblin token, and we can Tarian's Journal and sack it if it survives. Otherwise, we can Tarian's Journal and discard our hand to transform it and cast a Predator next turn. Okay, either our opponent is taking a while or they quit. Okay, I think they did leave, so we'll Terran's Journal here. Still gonna do our plays like normal. Oh, and we got an Alicia. That's not gonna get anything back, but it is a first striker. And there you have it. Looks like our opponent left. The way I would sideboard this is I would likely bring in our Pyroclasm package as well as the Massacre Worms and treat this like a go wide deck. We'll still keep our strong single target removal for cards like Braids, and then we take out stuff like Sear Slicer Goblin, despite it being quite good here. Um, Being on the draw against them will just be what do you call this? We need to play the control game plan, and then I'd also bring in Untimely Malfunction because they're playing artifacts like the Forge as well, and we can use Untimely Malfunction to deal with their single target removal. So, very interesting sacrifice mirror that I think would have been nice to play out, but oh well. I'll see you in the next round. Probably play one more. See you then. Alright, win or lose, we're gonna play this game. This will be the last round, and I think I'm gonna be keeping this. Not much action in the early game. Well, I take that back. Now we have action. And it looks like we're against a Dimir player. Ooh, a fairies. Very nice. Love to see some off-meta decks here. So we'll play Restless Vents, and I guess we'll attack. And then, let's see, fairies. What would they be doing differently? I guess they have Kaito still. Okay, this looks like it's a Kaito, but thankfully we had the blot out. And then they have Fairy Fencing and Ego Drain. I think Fairies is a really good deck. Just lacking a few more cards, really. Because I tried to brew it as well. Okay, so we kill the Kaito there. Attack with Infestation Sage. Here comes a Dream Thief. And then there are a couple of things we can do here. We can Forge, or we can Bran plus Eaten Alive. If they have another Kaito, I want to save the Eaten Alive. Okay, let's do the more mana efficient play here. See if they have a counter for this. Okay, no counter. Do they have something like a Flood Pits Drowner? Okay, Anoint with Affliction. Makes sense. And then we can get their Fairy Dream Thief here, but like I said, if they have another Kaito in their hand, I'd rather get that. And I think it is. Okay, they get to draw, and then they'll play the Dream Thief or keep up a removal spell. Okay, probably keep up a removal spell. So the way I'd play this is I'll attack them. Play around Phantom Interference. So I'll play Vran here. Then I'll Eaten Alive, sacrificing the token that we have. And drain them. Okay, this might be a go for the throat. Oh, a cut down. I see. Okay, well, we're at least the one that have more of a board presence here, because we have the Forge. It is unfortunate that we only have lands here. Oh, they're playing Urtai as well. Okay, good to know. Now the question is, do I do Restless Vents? I think no, because they likely have a removal spell, and I'd rather just use Fountain Port. Okay, I'll play Swamp here and pass. Okay, here's an Enduring Curiosity. Do I draw with the Fountain Port and hope to get a removal spell? Or do I block? I think I'm gonna draw. Okay, Vran is not a removal spell, but it is a great card. So we're gonna take 5 here. They're gonna draw 2. Ooh, and they have a Fountain Port as well. Okay. So we'll play Vran first. See what they have. Okay, nothing. Here's a Go for the Throat. They'll take 4. But they'll block with the fish. I guess that means they still take 4. Okay, we'll do this. Let's draw a card. Hoping to draw a removal spell. Ooh, this might be lethal. Yeah, this is lethal. And they get to draw cards. Okay, so we take what? 9 plus the Restless Reef. So if they activate the Restless Reef, we're dead. But they don't. Okay. We have a chance here. I mean, they have a fistful of cards, so nowhere to run, huh? Okay, well, we'll do the thing. Plus the Tidebinder. Okay, well, this is super lethal. We'll just concede here. And then against them, I actually think I'll play Pyroclasm. Given how low their toughnesses are. And then I think Duress is good. I think Twisted Fealty is not as good, but it would be great against their Curiosity. Thankfully, we have Blot out for that. So, as you guys know, when we bring in Pyroclasm, I have to take out the Goblins. The Miner, they don't really block well, so I'll keep them on the sideboard. And then, do I play Massacre Worm? I am on the play, so I would do this and not on the draw. I'll go down 1 Predator. Go for the Throat's good, Eaten Live's good, all of our removal's good. So I think I'll go down 1 Bloodwitch. Or 1 Alicia. I think I'll go 1 Alicia. Yeah. And then the question is, do I play Dreams of Steel and Oil? Now, I think we'll use our removal on their threats and the rest to get their spell. Okay. play first. We do get a duress, which is nice. And we can work towards the forge here. Oh, we can only get the cut down. And then I think I'll just play Restless Vets here. And then Forge. And then we can always know where to run the Tishana's Tidebinder. Okay, they're using their mana efficiently here. We will use the Nowhere to run on the Tishana's Tidebinder. But I guess we can duress first. Hopefully get a Kaito. Oh, we got an Anoint. Okay. So I can use this on the Enduring Curiosity, but I think having my Forge online is better. Okay, so their Curiosity here, and then they draw a card. We're hoping to get Blot Out or something along those lines. Okay, Vengeful Bloodwitch. Well, it's something. And then we end the turn here. So we really need to deal with this Curiosity. So I'm not going to block the Drowner just in case we get eaten alive. Or should I? No, I think I should. I don't want them to draw 2 cards. Okay, Eaten Alive, at least we can use it for its other mode. But first, let's see. If we attack... I guess it depends if they have counter spells or not. Okay, I'm gonna take a gamble here and say they don't have a counter spell. And then I'm just gonna use our Forge token. Okay, here's a cut down. And then because they can get this with the fish token, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna attack, I mean. Okay. Well, we at least dealt with the Curiosity, but they could have... Oh, another one. Okay, we are behind here. Okay, so we unfortunately don't have any action. And then, yeah, we are... Oh, yeah, I think that's it. And if they have a... Oh, I thought they'd have play a Mastermind there. But it looks like we're just gonna die here. And yep, they got 7 cards in hand, now 6. They got the Filigree. Yeah, there's no coming back from this. Alright, give our opponent a good game and let them get the win here. Alright, so not a bad showing for going into the ladder. I'll see you at the outro. Alright, there you have it, guys. We went 4-1. We made a couple of people quit, which is unfortunate, but I think that is less to do with our deck and more to do with that's just the nature of ladder. There's not much, like rank doesn't really matter, so you can always just easily quit your games. Whereas if I join the traditional standard event, you have to invest gold or gems to join them. So I think people are less likely to quit there. So I think moving forward, that's what I will do with these standard videos. We'll see. It is nice to try and win some play-in points, so I think I'll keep that in mind. But in terms of the tuning here, like I said in the intro, I do think of decks in terms of function, and what I learned this session is I think exile effects are starting to become more important. So I think maybe we don't need the third nowhere to run or the third go for the throat, and instead go for a third eaten alive or bring back anoint with affliction, just because of how useful an exile effect is. And then as for the game plan here in the core synergy, I'm noticing that I don't think I need four of the Predator. The majority of the time is when I'm playing this card and I don't have fodder, it just exposes itself. But more importantly, I think having a sacrifice outlet earlier in the curve is just more useful. So Forge is great, Terran's Journal has been great, Eaten Alive has been great, but I think I need one more. So I'm thinking of reducing the Predator to 3 and then try and find one more slot here for a sacrifice outlet in the early game. And then, in terms of the other parts of the game plan, I really like the miners. I really like the sage. The goblin is great. Obviously, not if we're not. Obviously, if we playing pyroclasm, it's not very good. Alicia's great, and then I think my favorite part about the deck are these drain effects. So I don't know if I would increase that or I'm okay with 6 copies. We'll see. I could totally see us removing the Sear Slicer goblins and going up to a third Ran, and then using 2 of those slots to do something else with our synergy. So interesting things that we can play around here and optimize, but I think we will just run it back next week and see what we can do in terms of optimizing this Rakdos deck. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you. Please like the video, drop a comment, and if you feel so inclined, a subscription would be heavenly. But hey, nevertheless, just happy that you're here. Thanks for joining the journey. What else can I say but have a great day?